the door on it anyway.
Go ahead.
Have you ever wanted to make your own lava lamp with just a few things from your kitchen? Well, today I'll show you how to turn an ordinary jar into a bubbling science experiment. When I'm done today, you can make this for your younger siblings or just for fun. And I made a science project revolving around this when I was in 6th grade. And I have done it every once in a while with my family just for fun, because it's a fun thing to do. I'm here to teach you how to make an Alka-Seltzer lava lamp, as well as to show you what you will need to make it and some of the cool science behind it. First, I will show you what ingredients you will need to make this. What you'll need to make this is any jar and or cup that will fit, and you will need to fill that jar with 2/3 of olive oil, olive or vegetable oil. And you will need to have 1/3 of warm water. And you're gonna need your choice of food coloring, and you're gonna need 1/2, 1/4, or whole tablets of Alka-Seltzer. And depending on the size of your container is, if you have anything to illuminate underneath of it, the bottom to see better, you can see it better, but I will only be able to do the small ones because otherwise it could be dangerous with the bigger ones. Now that I have everything that I need to make it, I can show you how to make this. I'm going to start with the small jar, but eventually I will use a bigger jar for... Come on. There. You will need to fill it with at least 1/3 water first. And just gotta be careful. And then you will need to fill it 2/3 full of, well, I have vegetable oil here today, but come on, work.
Do you need me to open it?
Ian, you can come help me if you want, because I cannot open this.
Let's go, Ian.
Thank you, Ian. And then you fill it 2/3 full with vegetable oil until it gets filling up there. Then you add your food coloring, which I'm going to add blue, if I can get one there. You want to add around 2 drops because more can actually hurt the experiment and make it so you can't see it well. 3 will also be fine. And as you see, because of the oil, the drops of food coloring have not mixed with the water, but they will eventually burst into color at the bottom, like a couple of them did there. And then you gotta wait for it to mix together and mingle for a little bit. Then you take your Alka-Seltzer tablets and then you're gonna want to break for this small jar, you're gonna want to break it into at least 1/8 or 1/4, because you don't want the thing getting crazy enough that it will spill out of the jar. And if you add a full tablet, it would just boil over, basically. So, I have 1/6 here. I'm gonna break that one more time, and then we drop it in. When it when it touches the water, it reacts and it starts to boil. And sometimes, or most of the time, that I've had bad luck with this, but the tablet will float up to the surface. It's probably because of the jars I'm using, but I don't know. And then you can add a couple of other ones into it and have it work better. They will float up to the surface mostly. And you gotta find a good one that will actually work before, because sometimes it'll bubble and then it'll sink back down and it'll go back up. But mostly they just go up to the top and they stop. That was a slightly bigger one, so I'm sure this one will. And you can start to see some of the bubbling. The water will come up, since it doesn't mix with the oil. It will just stay in bubbles with itself and it'll float back down to the bottom and it'll burst eventually. You just gotta be careful how much Alka-Seltzer you use, because sometimes it will boil over. And then you can have too much oil, you can have not enough oil, but I believe this one is right around where you should have it, but I think I added a little bit too much. And you can make it with larger jars too. Like this one here. I will try it with this one as well, because the bigger ones you tend to yield better results. Shoot, there's already some food coloring in here, but that's fine. That should be about good. And then add the vegetable oil. Generally, you want to fill it back up to near the top. Then you add some more food coloring if you feel like you need some more. I'm going to add 2 drops of blue and 2 drops of yellow, this one to make it more greenish. And there. It's best to just leave that sit until they incorporate. And you'll notice that one of the Alka-Seltzer tablets up here isn't dissolving, because the Alka-Seltzer tablets actually need the water to activate the reaction. And now that I've made the lava lamps, I can tell you about some of the cool science behind it. One of which I've already said, like the bubbles, surface tension and density and stuff. When you add the food coloring and if you add water in before, it's denser than the oil, so it will sink to the bottom. And there are many different densities of things. The Alka-Seltzer tablets, once they get to a certain point, becomes less dense than the oil, so they float up to the top. And the Alka-Seltzer reaction is caused by when sodium benzoate, or salt of some form, mixes with citrus acid. They are both in the tablet, but they don't mix because they need the water to push them together. And then bigger one should work now. It should work better because the bigger one. But and the oil doesn't mix with the water mostly because it isn't soluble with water. The bigger one worked much better there. Now that I've shown you some cool science, and that's all I have, I have now taught you how to make an Alka-Seltzer lava lamp, as well as show you what you will need to make it with, and some cool science behind it. There are many cool things you can do with Alka-Seltzer. You can make cars powered by balloons, you can make volcanoes, you can make planes powered by balloons, and you can also make rockets. But I still think one of the best uses of this is the Alka-Seltzer lava lamp. Thank you for listening to my speech.